Hello everybody, my name is Antante. Welcome back to Let's Play Hearts of Iron 4, The Great Wars Austria-Hungary. As you can see, things have very much picked up. Things are going pretty well for us. We'll delete your army from here, send you to this front, and you're just going to spearhead your way down to Bordeaux. That seems pretty good. France right now is at 60% capitulation. Hopefully they'll be dead sooner rather than later. Like, is there no peace event like there is with, like, the Russians? Because, like, we've killed Italy and the British. You think at some point they would be, close to the giving up, but maybe not. I mean, what's everybody? You're still down here. You guys aren't doing anything right now, huh? I guess you do something like this. It's a little bit strange, but I think it kind of makes sense. Now Germany can start flooding all their troops up to here because Belgium has capitulated. And really with that, I can't imagine you're going to be able to do too much against us. Go to Nantes. You make your way towards Brest, our new capital. Bordeaux. You haven't taken Versailles quite yet. And Lyon is worth 10 points as well. All those would be nice cities for us to take. But France, it's over. The Soviets have come down here to help us out. I mean, I appreciate it, even though it's a little bit strange. The Antante has surrendered. Like, good? I think. It took this long. It took us. We had to kill Italy, Belgium, Britain, and take over half of France. But the Antante has finally realized, hey, maybe we're not winning this war. How many men died? Almost 10 million Entente forces have been killed. Again, that's not including the amount of people that died against Russia. Oman is now in the war. I know there's probably like a but like when countries surrender, it's not like immediate. There's like a little there's a process, the whole situation. So I'm sure they'll give up soon. Just take more Bordeaux, more bargaining chips basically. You know what? Let's upgrade the infantry equipment 3 at this point. It's going to cost a lot of steel, but like who cares? We've won. Which I am glad to have won finally. Like, do you guys have like an event basically where it's like, oh, you know, we suck? East Treaty Military Youth. Okay, so the war has ended. I think there's basically going to be like a peace treaty event now. Or at least I believe so. Resources, foreign influence. You're still part of the Kingdom of Spain. Like I do feel like we deserve a lot of territory because you know we did all of the fighting basically. Of course, being called back. You know that makes sense. Bulgaria, you can have them. We'll kind of see what's going to happen here. The Soviet Union, I guess, just doesn't want Georgia, Azerbaijan, or Armenia. Even though I guess they did conquer them, but we'll see kind of how that plays out. What do you want us? You want to do a military parade in the Cuban state? Yeah, you know what? We won the war. We can do a military parade. Not in our own territory, just in a the country in the middle of like the Caucasus. Makes a lot of sense. Okay, we can see Germany taking over Kenya. The Sensi order does kind of exist. Do I have State Transfer Tool? It does work. So, I mean, inevitably, when the AI does not take a good enough peace deal, we'll be able to do something about that. Maybe I want Libya. You know what? Libya seems like it could be a nice little colony for us. Egypt is now independent. Does the Entente still technically exist? They do. Canada is not in a faction. Australia and New Zealand are independent. China's still broken up into like a million pieces, but that's not a major surprise. Persia has become whole again, even though I feel like probably the Ottomans deserve something there. You're technically just fighting a war against the British. I'd recommend, like, not doing that, to be quite honest. We lost so many men. You know what? I will give myself stab 5. Or is it stability? Punjab's clear war on the British Raj. That's how you spell stability. I know there's a... There's like an event. There's some sort of decision to get us more stability. I know political power is PP, but other than that, I don't really know. Most basically, I want more stability so I can actually do the I want more stability. Promises of peace. Improve worker conditions. Just give me more stability, please. Weekly change 1.7%. Not horrible. I think banning the far right parties does decrease stability at least for a little bit. Ulster is mobilized. So we got the Orange Order against the rest of Britain. Do you have a focus tree? No. I mean, I shouldn't be surprised by that. We'll kind of see how you guys end up playing this out. I mean, the Canadians still here. Still a lot of Australian troops. I mean, I'm glad we won. Don't get me wrong. Now you're doing Kaiserreich. Probably gives you some other things. It can be known as the Reichspakt. Restoration of the HRE. I guess we did kind of create... I mean, no, I was going to say we kind of created like a Reichspakt situation, but that's not even close to being the case. Now you're getting trench or chemical warfare. For Italian claims. The Ottomans are also just fighting a war against you. Like, I know that there's a peace event that should fire, so I'll be back when it actually does fire. Okay, so the event did fire. You see Germany has a pretty large colony down in the south. The Ottomans have taken over some territory themselves. Apparently that includes some of Albania, which is a little bit strange. But I do think... I'm going to turn on state enhancer tool, because there's some stuff I mean, we got, like, Venetia, which is, like, that's okay. But come on, we can take a little bit more than that. We'll at least take over here. Reverting Italy to its very, very old borders. Serbia and Montenegro, I think, should be part of our territory. Or at least at the... Actually, who's Malta owned? It's owned by the British. That does make a lot of sense. We'll transfer that over to Germany. No. Yeah, no. Select. Transfer to Germany. Anything else that we should... Technically, you're in our faction. But I'm going to transfer it to myself anyways, because that's cooler. Italy sells colonies down here. You are in our faction. If anything, I think it makes more sense. If you both rebelled against the Ottomans... We'll do something like that. That seems okay. You guys are still at war. And you went to war. We'll take territory from Persia. That looks okay. Kind of like what they do in, And also, I think it makes sense maybe for, the Ottomans take some of the, Sinai Peninsula. Anything over here? I mean, not really, I think. Looks like Bengal, Burma's got independence. Ceylon's independence. They still own Britain. Well, kind of. The British Indian provisional government, so they might be trying to release India as an independent country. We were at war with Portugal as well, right? But I guess... We didn't really touch them very much. Let's release Serbia as a puppet. Okay, that's not what I wanted. I meant just that part of Serbia. Thank you. I'm guessing we now no longer have any of this as cores, which, you know, I guess it would be bad under normal circumstances, but it's not that big of a problem. Yeah, we got Austro-Hungary and Serbia. Montenegro, I think, now are puppets. In Romania... Honestly, give that territory to Ukraine. A very sad-looking Romania. But I mean, it looks basically like ass. So we'll let him keep the borders for at least for now. Anything else that needs to change? Belgium is now a puppet of you. You've taken over a little bit of territory, even though I feel like this probably was not... I mean, that harsh? Let me just see. I mean, Orange Order is independent. France, we've got our colony. Let's give that territory to Egypt. Let's transfer that territory down to South Africa. I know we're basically just creating the Kaiserreich borders here, but I think, you know what, with that, it's definitely gonna be a shorter episode. It's only gonna be like 12 minutes long. Well, what do you expect? I didn't expect the war to end. I mean, I expected the war to end somewhat soon after I killed Britain, took Italy, and also, you know, Paris. But I didn't expect it to end like that fast at that point. But anyways, thanks everybody for watching my Anthem. If you've enjoyed, run a thumbs up. Not enjoyed, thumb down. You want to see more, subscribe, and goodbye.